We're about a year out from Avengers Doomsday, but the blueprint for defeating Doctor Doom might already exist. Squirrel Girl. Now, it sounds like a joke on its surface, but she has technically, canonically defeated Doctor Doom before. And it happened in the very first time she appeared in Marvel Comics. In Marvel Superheroes Volume 2, Issue 8, in a story featuring Iron Man, he's flying around testing his collision avoidance radar, or CAR as he likes to call it, when out of nowhere he's literally attacked by Squirrel Girl. For no reason, mind you. For all she knows, Iron Man is just flying through the forest for, on a mission. But she just takes it upon herself to just attack him, essentially, for no reason. So he finally wrestles her off him and she introduces herself. And I have to say, her makeup is almost demonic. She looks more menacing than Doctor Doom himself. Why did they choose to draw her like this? I guess they were trying to go for quirky, but I guess this is what quirky was in the late 80s, early 90s. So she explains that the reason why she attacked him was because she wanted to prove herself as a worthy partner for Iron Man. She starts listing all her abilities and all the things she can do. And she's canonically a mutant, but that's been retconned a long time ago. But yeah, so she starts saying all this stuff she can do, like she can move and jump like a squirrel. She also has weird squirrel teeth, and she can also communicate with squirrels. So Iron Man's basically like, just go talk to the X-Men. They might be interested. She's like, no way. And she specifically has something against Kitty Pryde. And she says they're all pretentious and stuck up. And then she singles out Kitty Pryde, which I guess. And yeah, but she says she doesn't want people to know she's a mutant. So like the X-Men are a no-go. She's insistent on being Tony Stark's partner only. And of course, Tony's like, no, Iron Man's a solo act. I don't need a partner, especially not a weird squirrel girl. He didn't say that part. I did. But it's true. And in the midst of still trying to convince him, she talks about her having a run-in with none other than Doctor Doom. So this isn't actually the first time. What's going to happen in this issue isn't even the first time, I guess, she had an interaction with Doctor Doom. So she has fought Doctor Doom before and gotten away. And seemingly Doctor Doom never let that go, because he shows up out of nowhere and abducts both of them onto his ship. He said that he wasn't even trying to fight Iron Man today, but he was just so pissed off about his earlier run-in with Squirrel Girl that he had to come back and find her. And it just so happened that Iron Man was with her. So now as they're on Doom's ship, Iron Man realizes that he's been clamped down by some energy projection something, and he can't move. And Doom didn't even bother like having anything tie her down, because even after, I guess, she got the jump on him before, he still has no respect for her, which makes sense. So he doesn't even bother restraining her. Doom's plan is to crush their bodies with blunted spikes, and that will cause it to happen slowly, as Iron Man points out, and then dump their bodies in the Atlantic Ocean. Iron Man realizes he's pretty much out of commission because he can't move, so he says their only hope is Squirrel Girl. So she frantically tries to find or do something, anything to help them. So she ends up finding a vent and opening it, and then seeing that there are trees right underneath them. So the ship is flying very low to the ground because he doesn't want to be detected by radars. Noticing this convenient opportunity, she uses her skills of squirrel communication to call for backup. So as the squirrels swarm onto the ship, they end up chewing through the wiring, making the constraints that were holding Iron Man down depowered, allowing him to escape. Once they get out of the room, Iron Man's like, all right, let's go get Doom. But she's like, nah, don't worry, the squirrel's already taking care of him. And she's right, they are kind of taking care of him. They're swarming him and chewing through his armor, not allowing him to move or do pretty much anything. So Doom has to escape through that little vent in the ship that Squirrel Girl initially found, and he runs away and jumps into the river. And Iron Man tries to like track him down into the river, but he ends up escaping, but leaving behind his mask. And she, like one of her squirrels called Monkey Joe, she has a specific name for some of them, and Monkey Joe is one of them, her trusted Monkey Joe squirrel. brings the mask to her, and she's like, "Hey, Iron Man, you can have this. There may be some secrets in there, like one Doom's most iconic item." She's like, "Yeah, this whatever mask, just here, take this," like it's nothing. Not even able to grasp the magnitude of what she just did. Iron Man's like, "You just gave like one of the biggest villains in the world the most embarrassing defeat he's ever had." And she's like, "Yeah, but it was still kind of embarrassing because I kind of made you look stupid." So Iron Man compliments her, telling her about how good of a job she did. And naturally, that means in her head, she can join him as his partner. But of course, he still says no. But she's like, she doesn't want to go back to school, and she's not, big enough to do superheroing on her own. And all the kids call her rodent at school, right? They make fun of her, so she doesn't even want to go back. But he's like, just finish school, go to college, and then circle back in a few years, and we can talk then. What she thinks is that Iron Man is saying she can be his partner in a few years, but he's like, "No, I'll put in a good word in with you for the Avengers." But she's like, "Nah, I'm good off the Avengers. I'll just go hop on another superhero's back and see if they like me." So then Iron Man's like, "Good luck." And then she delivers one of the most devious lines I have ever seen written in a comic book by a superhero. She says, "I don't need luck, I eat nuts." Even on its surface, it doesn't even make sense. Because what does eating nuts have to do with anything? Like, I guess it's the squirrel's strength, the squirrel power. Like, she doesn't need to be lucky, she eats what squirrels eat. But the phrasing of that is crazy. And I respect the writers for putting in something so stupid and making an already iconic debut end on an even more arguably iconic ending. If you like this video, want to see more like it, subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll catch you in the next one.